Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, y'all. Happy New Year. Did you guys miss me? Because I missed you. Guys, this video has been a long time in the making. I know I've been gone for like 3 months or so. I think the last video I posted was in September, but yeah, you will see in this vlog, like, man, the journey that I have been through in regards to the NCLEX, guys. It was not smooth sailing like my LPN NCLEX. This was the real deal Holyfield, okay? At first I didn't know if I wanted to split this video into 2 parts, but then I feel like y'all would freak out if I like stopped it at where I wanted to stop it. So I was like, you know what, let me just do one big NCLEX journey vlog. So if you're gonna watch this is gonna be a long video. Grab some tea. You could leave it playing while you're doing, your errands and stuff like that, or cleaning up around the house. But please make sure you watch the full video just to understand my journey, and also, it'll help with the, with the coins, the YouTube coins, okay? Keeping it real. But yeah, so I'm going to share my NCLEX journey with you guys. And I will come back. I'm going to start with where my NCLEX journey started, and then I'm going to come back to where I am today so you guys can know what's going on. So if you want to know what's going on, stay tuned. I feel like I'm going to divide this video into timestamps, just so if you want to skip forward to like different sections in the journey, you could do that. So yeah, stay tuned, y'all, and I will come back at the end of the day.
Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. So guys, I am in my car. I am at the park. I got my Lauryn Hill shirt on. It says everything is everything. Yes. Yeah, so basically tomorrow is my NCLEX, y'all. And it wasn't supposed to be tomorrow, honestly, but taking a step out on faith. So yeah, we'll see. But I mean, literally, I got my ATT number last week. I think it was last week, Wednesday. And then I scheduled the NCLEX, and the only dates available, if you guys don't know, like NCLEX is kind of like scheduling for the NCLEX is like first come first serve. Like the dates are filled up, especially because of like the whole COVID thing. Now they don't let as many people in the room to test. So when I saw the schedule, it was like the soonest was like the next day, and then there was like September 7th and 9th, and then after that there was the 13th as well, and then the rest was like in October. So I'm like, yo, September is close, especially because last week I didn't really study. I didn't start studying. And so I'm like, yo, that's really like risky to do it like in September. Yeah, so I scheduled it for the 9th, and I have been studying ever since. I've been looking at Mark Climax lectures on YouTube, a YouTuber named RN. She uploaded the lecture with the notes. Really, really helpful. He's really good in helping you like memorize details, like things that I wouldn't have known. Like, usually when we study, we like to memorize lists. And I have always been the type that if there's a shortcut way to study something, I'll rather do that than memorize a list. Even though I'm good with memorizing lists, but I like shortcut ways. So he definitely has a whole bunch of ways of memorizing things. And so, yeah, I've been doing that, and I've been, since yesterday, I've been coming to the park to study. My school actually has an NCLEX review, like a Kaplan NCLEX review. They had it yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But honestly, like, if you guys have been following me since my LPN program, when they made us pay for, like, a Kaplan review, it was just a waste of time. Like, even though they already took this out of our, like, tuition, it was a part of our tuition, so it's like we basically all already paid for it. Like, I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time sitting in there from 9 to 4 for something that I feel is going to waste my time when I could study on my own. So, yeah, enough rambling. So, tomorrow is my NCLEX, y'all. I have all these different types of fields. It's different. It's different from, like, for the LPN NCLEX, I gave myself 2 weeks to study, which was more than enough. And I passed in 85 questions. You guys saw the vlog. If you didn't, check out that vlog. But yeah, so at least I felt like I had enough time, whereas this one is like less than a week. So I'm really stepping out on faith. I've been feeling good. I've been doing like questions, and it's like, okay, using like what Mark Klimek came up with, plus just rereading some things. I'm like, oh, okay, this makes sense. This makes sense. So like I've been doing well on the questions. I hope well enough to pass, but yeah, I'm just it's a little nerve-wracking. Not gonna lie, but I'm trusting that I could pass it. I'm not even aiming for 75 questions. If I pass in 75 questions, that'd be awesome. Like, I don't like testing for long, but my goal is just to pass, and I will pass in Jesus' name. So just want to give you guys this quick little update before the day, just in case I don't have time to record tomorrow before I go in. My test is in the afternoon, so yeah, y'all. Who knows, by the end of this week I could be an RN. Like, that's crazy. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. Alright, yeah, I will catch you tomorrow. And the last thing before I like close the video, but the crazy thing is, like, what was I gonna say? Since my test is on Thursday, I'm like, it usually takes 2 days, they say, to get the results. I'm like, does that mean I won't be able to know until like Monday? But then if you guys watched when I took my LPN NCLEX, I found out the very next day. I don't know if it's because I finished fast or whatever, but so what I'm gonna do is Friday, I'm gonna check the Board of Nursing and see if a license number is up. But I know the New Jersey Board of Nursing has been really poopy, especially since especially since COVID. So I mean, if it's not there on Friday, I'll just pay for the quick results on Saturday so I can know. But yeah, it's crazy, y'all. But I just want to take that NCLEX and be over with, y'all. Yo, guys, listen. Whew. Yeah, so I just finished taking the NCLEX. A very completely different experience than my PN one. Not even question wise, but you know, my PN one, I was done 85 questions. I'm like, yeah. This one I got all 145, so 145 is the max. And like that right there let me know that, girl, you're not doing so hot. I mean, like, every second, like, after 75, I'm like, okay, is it gonna stop now? Is it gonna stop now? No. I kept getting questions, and I'm like, crap. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm teetering on that line. And so I got to 145, and that was a select all that apply. And even that, I was just like, crap. Because if it was just like select one, then it's like, okay, you know, hopefully that last one was enough. But I mean, the best thing I could do is pray. I do not want to take this NCLEX over again, y'all. I really don't. Like, I'm over it. I'm over it already. I'm just going to speak positivity into it. I don't even know if I'm going to do the Pearson VUE trick. Like, my heart, I don't know if my heart could take it. I am sweating bullets right now. Like, y'all can't see my pits, but they are sweaty, okay? Like, I probably got over, like, I would say 25 to 35 select all that apply. I got a lot of select all that apply. I got some drag and drops. Those ones, they were pretty easy. Like, you could figure out. I got like 4 drag and drops. Only got 1 med calculation. Yeah, and the rest were just like multiple choice. So yeah, we'll see. But I am just like my heart, my heart. Whew, all right, I don't know what I'm gonna do, y'all. I don't know, but I'm gonna catch y'all later.
Please, no matter what, don't turn off the video. We want it raw and everything, okay? We want it raw and real.
I mean, it's not officially official, so.
I know, but still, so don't turn it off, okay?
Because there's some
no
people.
No matter what I do. There's some people that would.
No, just do it.
Okay, and I am submit in the order. Submit.
You're taking too long. I know what that means.
Your registration has been submitted to 18 North Bronx the board. You should receive your registration within 4 weeks.
Oh no! That's bad.
Are you sure?
It's bad.
No.
It is, because if it was good, it would say that our records indicate that you've already registered for the exam.
Is it too soon? Could it be too soon?
No, because the last time I did it right after. That's crazy.
It says you're booked.
Bruh. Hey y'all. Happy Thursday. Excuse the lookingness. So, at this point, you guys would have watched the last video. So, I'm just going to break down real quick what's happened since that time. And I feel like I'm going to do a whole separate video on, like, you know, what happens. But basically, on the last video, if you saw how I ended it, you basically know what happened. Your girl didn't pass the NCLEX. So, quick things. If you can tell by that video, like the day before, like 2 days before when I was recording, I knew in my mind and in my heart that I wasn't like ready, but I still pushed myself because I'm not gonna lie, it was like an ego thing. It's like, man, I passed my LPN 1, like 85 questions, less than an hour, like, and I studied for 2 weeks. So like, what's 1 week? What's less than 1 week? I could do it, you know. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll probably be like the first one in my class to pass. So like, you know, it was definitely like a ego and a pride thing going on where I was just like, you know, plus I didn't really want to study. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, even in the time that I'm using now to study, it's like been so hard because I'm just like over it. I'm so over it. So at that point, I was over it too. So I just watched the Mark Climac videos. Didn't really read, didn't really do any practice questions, and I went ahead and took the exam. And as you can see after the exam, I was just like, I knew. Like, once I got 145 questions and the last question I got was to select all that apply, I just knew. I already knew in my heart, but, you know, my sister decided to help me do the Pearson VUE trick. And that's basically how I found out that I didn't pass because I don't know if like it was in the end of the video, but my sister said they took the money, and I was like, oh snap. So the good pop-up, if you've researched it or if you watched when I took my LPN NCLEX, the good pop-up just says like, oh, our records indicate that you've already registered for an exam at this time, so it doesn't let you register for a new exam. In the case of the bad pop-up, when my sister put in all her card information and it registered me for a new exam, that's how I knew. Like, there was no turning back. Like, I knew right then. So, you know, so after that time, I took about a week off. I was like, you know, I wasn't too sad about it. It was more annoying because I was more annoyed just because I was like, man, I gotta study some more. Like, I still have to study for this stupid exam. I can't just, like, you know, move on with my life. Yeah, so that's what it's been like since then. Just like studying. I have my Saunders book. I've been going through it, doing the questions. Right now I'm like reviewing some sections that I may have missed or that I don't really recall. And then later on, I'm just going to do some questions. So if If you guys are wondering, my exam is tomorrow. Same location. We're going to try it again. But this time, as you can see, I'm smiling. I'm a lot, like, you could see the difference from my last video of how I was a few days before the exam compared to now. I just feel more at ease, at peace. I feel like I got this. And so I'm going to do a whole separate video, like I said, on like what happens when you fail the NCLEX, because I feel like it wasn't really, they don't really specify the steps you have to go through. So like, I was just like, after I registered for Pearson VUE again, like when I did the trick, it was just like, oh, okay, you're going to hear from the Board of Nursing in 4 weeks. Because I know it's like 45 days until you could test again in New Jersey. So like I waited and I'm like, yo, I haven't heard from them. Turns out I had to I had to submit a re-exam application that, like, you know, it wasn't ever stated, and then I had to go through those steps. So, you know, my voice cracked. That's all ugly. But yeah. So, yeah. So I had to do all those steps and stuff. Definitely, like, if I had known that I would have to do the application, like, I probably would have been able to take the test in October. But I feel like God worked it out in a way, because, like, even in October when I was like rushing to take it again, like, oh, 45 days are up, I'm going to take it again. Like, I don't feel like I was as ready as I feel now. Like, now I'm like, okay, I could take this and I can pass. And even the thing is, like, when you fail, they send you like a performance report. Like, in the performance report, this is the thing that I was just like, man, like, if I really had focused and probably not have panicked after, like, when it didn't stop at 75, I probably would have passed. Because, like, the performance report, it was just, like, they have 3 levels. They have above passing, near passing, and then below passing. As you know, with the NCLEX, you have to be above passing. So, like, for the section, I think it's management of care, that's about, like, 23% of the exam. That's the highest section of the exam, weight-wise. I had above passing. Everything else was near passing. So I feel like it's like little questions that, like, if I took this time, like 1 or 2 more days to like study, like, I would have passed. I really do feel like I would have passed the NCLEX. And then there's questions that I like knew the answer, changed it, or like select all that apply. And I like, you know, I clicked all the ones that I knew, but then there was like that one that I was like, I mean, I guess this sounds right. You know what? I'm gonna just click it to be safe. And then it ended up being wrong. So I definitely feel like I could have passed, but, you know, so that's why I'm feeling more confident. Like, now that I know a lot more than I did then, I know for sure that I'm going to pass tomorrow, the exam. So, yeah, so that's my earful. Right, hey, y'all. Man, I look greasy. Okay. Happy Friday. Happy NCLEX Day, part 2. It's actually 12:28 right now. My exam starts at 1. So I'm about to head... Oh. Focus. Okay, I'm about to head inside, but I just want to say, hey y'all, I'm feeling confident. I just want to do this, get it over with, cut back. But I'm going to take my time this time, not going to rush, like, you know. And yeah, so I'll let you guys know how it goes. Let's do this. Let's pass this NCLEX. Let's turn into an RN. Let's do this. All right, guys. I'll see you after. Hey, y'all. Back again. Like... Guys, honestly, I'm going to just say a prayer. I don't even think I'm going to do the Pearson VUE trick. So, it is 2:50 now. So I took over almost 2 hours to do the exam. And I got, oops, sorry, dark. Okay, here we go. Yeah. I got all 145 questions again. And I don't even know, like, what to say, y'all. Like, I really studied this time. And it's like, all the stuff that I studied was on there. Like, they were the first couple questions, and I guess because I got them right, they started finding other stuff. Well, that's what it is. It's a computer adaptive exam. So, like, it's just so annoying. Like, I'm just, like, gonna say a prayer and just hope that I don't have to take this again, y'all. Like, this is, like, heartbreaking in a way. But I'm gonna stay positive. I mean, the last couple of questions, I feel like I got them right up to the last one. But I just feel like they were so easy that I don't know where I fall on that line of, like, you know, Is it enough to pass? Is it not? I just know, like, I noticed that I got a lot of gestational diabetes questions, and I got a lot of prioritization questions. Or, like, you know, a nurse from a different department going to another department, what can they do? Those type of questions. And I was like, like that alone let me know, yeah, maybe I wasn't doing well with those questions, so they're giving me more. But, you know, we'll see. I don't think I'm going to check tomorrow, like, the Board of Nursing. Honestly, it doesn't make sense to even pay for the quick results. Like, you could tell by the Board of Nursing if you check your license, like, give it a day or two, and then you'll see. So, I am going to check on Monday. I'll check on Monday and see. But in the meantime, I'm going to pick up some shifts with my home care agency because, like, you know, I've been waiting to, like, pass the exam so I could just, like, you know, go straight into an RN job. But at this rate, like, you know, I'm just like, yo, let me just find some work to do, because obviously sitting here and studying, you know, well, who knows if it's beneficial yet, but we'll see. We'll see, y'all. I'll see you on Monday.
Hey, y'all. So as you could see, I failed the NCLEX twice. Twice in 145 questions each, y'all. That was like the most, I would say, difficult time for me, because I was really like beating myself up. Like, yo, what's wrong with me? Like, I'm smarter than this. Honestly, I was like, yo, like, I did so well in school. Like, my predictors in school, I had like high scores. So I'm like, yo, what's going on? Why aren't I passing? Like, after the first time that I took it, I knew like the reason I didn't pass was really I didn't study any content. The second time around when I took it, you know, I was studying literally every day for about 4 hours. I would go to the park, I would sit in my car, and I would read, kind of like how I did when I was studying for my LPN exam. I would just read the content and do the questions in the book. Went in, took the NCLEX, same 145 questions, and I didn't pass again. And then each of the first and the second exam that I took, my last questions were select all that applies in both of them. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And it was ones that I didn't know. So that alone let me know, like, oh man. So speed y'all up into where I am today. Today is January 10th, 2022. I took my third try of the NCLEX on Friday, January 7th, 2022, which was the day of the snowstorm. If you live in the Northeast, especially in New Jersey, it was a snowstorm. Yes, it was thick snow. Yes, I was late for my exam, but I was determined. I prayed about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let anything stop me from taking this exam. And I went in, and they didn't have any problem with me being late because obviously they understood it was a snowstorm. They went and sat me down in booth number 7. That alone, I was like, okay, there's something. It's the 7th. I'm sitting in booth number 7. I'm like, okay, there's something going on here. Okay. Like, I don't believe in coincidences. I feel like God sets up everything how it's supposed to be. So, took the NCLEX. And this time around, I had no math. I had 2 EKG questions. A majority of it was just prioritization questions and just like random, like, you know, like I would say, I had 2 of those, like, what you call it, like those justice versus veracity versus this, like those type of questions. And yeah, but a majority of my third exam was just psych, pediatrics, maternity. And I didn't get anything else except for like 1 or 2 like random, like, you know, liver cirrhosis, nephrotic syndrome. It was like a couple of questions like that. In regards to select all that apply, I would say I got about 10 select all that apply, which was less than what I had in the first 2 exams. So that alone, I was like, okay, this isn't too bad, especially because the select all that apply was easier for me this time around. I was like, okay. And then the last question I got this time around was not a select all that apply. And it was a question that I knew for sure that I got right. And so I ended up doing 145 questions again. And I was scared because, you know, the last 2 exams I did 145 questions. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, am I really going to fail 145 questions again? Like, it was so like, yeah, I was just like, you know what? I did what I had to do. I'm going to leave the rest to God. I'm a Christian woman. Like, although I'm feeling like, you know, oh man, here we go again. I'm like, all it takes is faith as tiny as a mustard seed. So I have my mustard seed size faith, and I'm going with that. And so because I took my exam on a Friday, you know, it takes 2 business days. So yesterday was Sunday. I decided, you know what? Let me check the Board of Nursing. I usually do that instead of paying Pearson VUE because the Board of Nursing usually posts like the next day or something like that. So I'm like, okay, let me check the Board of Nursing, the license verification system, put in my name and see if it's there. So yesterday I checked. My LPN license was still active and it said, you know, registered nurse pending. And so at that point I was like, ugh, because that's what it said the other 2 times. I was just like, oh my goodness, did I really feel this again? Like, ugh. Yeah, the way I felt yesterday, I was like, you know what? I need to just start looking at LPN jobs. The next time I'll take this is in March. I'm like, I have to look for a nursing review course because for New Jersey, if you fail the NCLEX 3 times, you have to show proof that you took a 30-hour comprehensive review course. So I'm like, okay. And those courses are like $300 to $500 to $600. So I'm like, all that was going through my mind yesterday. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. I'm like, but you know what? It's Sunday and maybe there's still hope. Like I said, I was working with that mustard seed size faith. Okay, y'all. I was like, listen, it's not over yet. It can't be over. So today, this morning, I woke up late because I stayed up all night just freaking out about the whole NCLEX thing and like, am I really meant to be an RN? Whatever. So I woke up and I was like, you know what? Let me just check. Like I was going to wait till Tuesday, which is tomorrow because Tuesday is 2 business days. But I'm like, you know what? Let me just see. So usually under my name, like in the Board of Nursing for New Jersey, it's like my sister's name and then my name underneath, and then usually it's 2 spaces underneath. One is for my pending RN license, the other is someone else. And so this time when I went into the license verification system, I saw only 1 space under my name. And I was like, wait, what? I zoomed in and sorry guys, sorry. So I passed. I passed and I'm officially an RN, guys. Oh man, I'm so emotional. But yeah, so I passed the NCLEX. They issued the license today. I saw my license number. I saw active registered professional nurse single state. If I want, I can upgrade my license to a multi-state license, but for now, single state. So I'm officially Ruby BSN RN or RN BSN, however you want to put it. But I did look it up and you're supposed to say your degree before the license. But yeah, I'm officially an RN, guys. Yes. Whew. Yeah. This NCLEX journey was really, it was hard. It was hard, guys. Like, there was so many times, like I said, I really thought, like, man, am I meant to be a RN? Like, you know, and I was just like, well, at least I'm an LPN. I can still, you know, get that nursing money. But it was just, you know, crazy. I'm like, what can I do as an LPN with a BSN? Like, nothing. Usually when people see BSN, they want that RN with it. So, you know, it was really just like a tough journey for me. I was sad. I lost a lot of weight. I feel like I'm slowly going back to the weight that I was like 2 years ago. And like, I finally like, I had gained some weight, you know, and I was losing weight, just like failing and being discouraged. Like, it was not a fun side. It was not a fun time, sorry. But I just thank God. Honestly, this was nothing but God. Like, this 3rd time around, like, besides studying, I prayed a lot. Like, faith plus works really does work. Like, And it's crazy because I had even wanted to change the location because I took my exam at the same place all 3 times. And I was like, I felt so embarrassed, like going in the 3rd time because it's the same person at the front desk. And I'm like, oh man, she's going to see me again and be like, man, this girl still didn't pass. Like, it was a lot of ego stuff going on with me as well. But, you know, every time I tried to change it, there was no other dates available. I'm like, I'm taking it the 7th. And there was a date on the 8th that was available in the other location that I wanted to take it. But I'm like, nah, 7th is my day. 7th is the day that I prayed about. And like I said, drove through a snowstorm, got there late. They put me in booth 7. I was just like, okay, God is here. God is with me. And he's going to deliver me from this exam. And he did. And so I failed twice in 145 questions. And I passed the 3rd time in 145 questions. And that's just crazy. It's crazy, y'all. In regards to what I did differently this 3rd time around, I bought the book Prioritization, Delegation, and Assignment. I think it's by LaCharity. It's a book that my MedSurg 1 professor had recommended at my school, but I didn't buy it because it was just like a recommended book. But I decided to do that because I noticed a lot of the questions I was getting wrong the 2nd time around had to do with basically prioritization, having to do with like, okay, you have 4 patients, who would you see first? Like a lot of those questions. So I just did that. I tried to do 100 questions each day, but I would say maybe the first week I did about like 300 questions or 400 questions. And then eventually I was just doing like 100 questions each week or like 200 questions each week. And then 3 days before my exam, I reviewed all the content. I revisited content that I didn't know from my Saunders book, but a majority of the time I was doing questions from the LaCharity book, and I had the online access code, so I was doing it online. That's the other thing. The first 2 times I was just doing questions in my Saunders book. I also looked at the Mark Klimek lectures for my first exam, and they did help the 2nd time around, like paired with the knowledge that I got in the 2nd round of my exam. It did help, but I do feel like doing questions online, like getting used to sitting on the computer and just doing multiple questions, like sitting down for long, I do feel like that helped me because I did feel like a lot of the questions came easier this time. There was some that was still hard, don't get me wrong, obviously, because I got to 145 questions. So, you know, I was still teetering along that passing line, but I do feel like a lot of them came easier because I studied how to do those types of questions. So, yeah, that's it for my NCLEX journey. Like, God is so good is all I could say. Like, today I am a registered nurse. That's so crazy. It's still fresh, obviously, because I learned that today. I hit up my home care agency. Oh, during the meantime, I still worked for my home care agency doing the buses and stuff like that, collecting money, but now the schools have closed, so I was just like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? So everything just worked out perfectly. I sent that license verification from the Board of Nursing to my job, and like all of them were happy. They sent it to the coordinator, so I've been getting emails from my job of like, you know, people just saying congratulations, we're so happy for you, and they like put my name, Ruby blah 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 RN, like, you know, I was just like, wow, this is really happening. And of course they told me about that nice pay increase. Okay. So yeah, that has been my NCLEX journey, y'all, and I apologize for, you know, going MIA, but if you've watched the videos in this video, you know, your girl was going through some things, okay? It was a struggle. So I will post other videos in depth of like, you know, exactly what I studied for the NCLEX to pass. Let me know if you want to know any other videos that I could do regarding that. In regards to a job, I will start applying to some RN residency programs. I made up my mind. That is what I'm going to do. Especially 12-month programs, just because if you guys have been watching me since LPN school or since being an LPN, you know that bedside is something that I've never been comfortable with. And I feel like in order to get comfortable, I need a big allotted time to like ease me in. And that's why I thought like a 12-month residency program at a hospital would be good for me. I'm also looking at nursing homes or assisted livings, but for now, the hospital residency program is my main focus. In regards to a specialty, I'm teetering between maternity and pediatrics. As you guys know, this whole time I've been working with peds. I love peds patients. They're awesome. I don't know if I would love them in a hospital setting just because, it's more critical. The peds patients I've been working with this whole time has been more stable. So I don't know, but also maternity has been something since LPN school, women's health and all that I've been interested in. So those are the, specialties I'm going to apply to. So this is a really long vlog. I'm gonna cut it off because I don't want it to be like a whole 45-minute vlog, but I think it might be. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, like I said. And yeah, signing off the Nursing Jewel BSN RN. Let's go. Let's go, y'all. All right, peace.